Welcome to the Green Wasp Removal YouTube channel. In this episode, we continue training and mentoring the Manchester University Wasp Team as we do some exploratory work in the eaves, soffit of a private residence to locate a very active German Yellowjacket nest. You can see one of their female foragers here struggling to take a very large piece of caterpillar that she had just hunted in the wild and bring it home to the nest. We'll take you along with us step by step as we remove the exterior soffit and then some interior wood and track the forager wasps entering this structure. As you see here, they were going deep into a corner, and this room was an addition that had been put on up against a brick house. So there was a large cavity space up in this soffit area, and that cavity space was where the addition room meets the brick wall of the original home structure. There was plenty of room for a nest up there. And as you can see, once we got our cameras up into the access hole we cut, we could see exactly where the wasps were walking. We couldn't yet see the nest, but we were tracking them step by step. The team did an excellent job of working together, exploring carefully, removing only the material they had to remove in order to zero in on where this nest was located. Behind a bunch of spider webs and insulation, they found it. We'll show you how we assessed the nest site to decide whether or not it's worth doing significant demolition to remove the nest, or if the client would be better off having us do an attrition collection from the outside of the building. After each member of the team had a chance to look at the nest site and we all discussed it together, we decided as a group the very best thing to do would be to replace the soffit in the wood we had removed and not do any demolition on the interior spaces inside this structure. It would not be worth it for the client to have to go through that cost when we could do an attrition collection from the outside instead. So that's what we decided to do, and we'll show you exactly what that attrition collection looks like, and we'll walk you through that process. An attrition collection simply means you're going to collect all the flying wasps that are going in and out of the building from the entry point they're using. We then take those collected wasps and we freeze them in a flash freezing process using CO2 or dry ice. And this preserves their venom at the highest quality for human biomedical use. And in this case, that means venom immunotherapy products for people with severe venom allergies. Essentially, these wasps will be made into allergy shots that save human lives. This is why we're happy to put in the time required at an attrition site, just because we can keep collecting from that site over and over again as more and more wasps pupate out of that nest. The house itself is used as an incubator box, and we can continue collecting as we control the population of wasps for the client. Thanks for riding along with us today. If you enjoy the content on our channel, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment to let us know you're there. Enjoy the show. Here on July 14th of 2025, we're doing an initial inspection on a German Yellowjacket nest that was entering and exiting from the corner of the soffit of a brick wall on a private residence. We were already at this property working on a maculifrons, an eastern Yellowjacket nest, when this nest was discovered. So they had an eastern Yellowjacket nest in their foundation, and they had a German Yellowjacket nest up here in their soffit somewhere. What we're looking at here is a German Yellowjacket forager wasp. This is a female wasp that was born to do this job, go out and forage for the nest. She has hunted and killed a caterpillar, parts of which you see her carrying here in her mandibles. The homeowner had attempted to seal this corner previously using expandable foam, which is the orange material you see here. The expandable foam had nothing to do with wasp nest at the time. They had actually seen mice crawling up into this corner, so they had tried to block mice originally with this foam. She brought back such a large piece of meat that she had a hard time getting it back into the nest, so she had to really chew it up and malaxate it further before she could finally get it into the nest. And of course, this is their main job in the ecosystem. All wasps around the world, their job in the world is to reduce the insect population of the world so that the insects around the globe do not overpopulate. That's their job in the ecosystem. So that's what she's doing here. That's why wasps are so extremely important to the environment. We have to have them doing this biological pest control. If we didn't, not only would the pest insects overpopulate globally, but we'd also have to use 10 times more poison in the world to get rid of them. So the wasps do it all naturally, because pest insect meat is what they feed their larvae. We were also seeing evidence that they were expanding their nest by digging out chunks of insulation and paper and wood and whatever was in their way inside this soffit or wall space where they were nesting. This is why if you do have a nest like this, you need to investigate to make sure they're not deep into a wall cavity where they can do some damage structurally to the building. If they're just in the soffit, this plastic or metal, they won't damage it. Now we'll jump ahead to July 18th when we began the removal.
July 18th, 2025. We're here today with the Manchester University Wasp Team, Katie and Elise. They're prepping for dual nests today. We have two we're going to be working on. One is up here in the corner. This is a German Yellowjacket nest, entering right about here. And that is one we're going to work today. Pull a lot of this soffit out and try to find them. Here's one coming in now. So it's very active, a lot of foraging going on. The other nest is down here. Been working on that one as an attrition job. And we're gonna maybe get to that today, maybe not, we'll see. Removing some soffit here and exposing the inner boards, which we'll probably have to cut through. That's the purpose of this part of the removal of soffit, is to just expose what's up there and figure out what we're looking at for construction. The wood up here is pretty rotting. This piece here is cracked and failing. So this just kind of pulls right out, these nails falling right out of the wood. Sorry, buddy.
One note about soffit removal: it's a good idea to take pictures or video of the soffit before you remove it. That way when you have to put it back, it's kind of like putting a puzzle back together. You have to put it back exactly the way it was. It's much easier to do that with a visual reference like a photograph.
All right, here we see the entry point. You guys see this? Right there is where they're going in. And so we'll go back through there and hopefully it's going to be right up here. But you see that? Mm-hmm. This is the main spot. They're coming and going. So that corner hole is where we're headed. Here we go. All right, so we've got a stack of soffit out, and the next step here is to remove this wood. Oh, there's an open space here. We might be able to get up here and look. So I'm going to have you guys step up here and take a quick look at this. Let me just remove the last bar. So this is where we're going to look and see if we can catch anything up in that area. Let me clear out some of these webs here for you. All right, so as you climb up, what we're gonna do is explore a little bit with the camera. So go up pretty high on the ladder so you can reach this camera. It's running now. Point it up over the edge of that wood and see if you can film in there a little bit. Keep going a little further, go back toward the wall, and I'll direct you. Toward the wall, come down. And this is where we're shooting, right in through there. So put the camera close up to the space, turn it a little bit the other way. There you go, turn it. Okay. Then kind of hold it in that space just for a second. All right, thanks. Now let's review this and I'll show you what we see. So up in this little access hole, we were not able to see enough of what we need to identify where that nest might be. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull this board. It looks like we have a seam here. We might be able to drop the whole board rather than cut. We'll see what kind of thickness it has here. It doesn't look very thick, so we can probably just pull it down, but it's so degraded. We'll see what happens here. Here we have an access hole we cut with the multi-tool, and now we're going to cut through here with a tool. pop this piece just to give us a look at what's up underneath. Some kind of tar paper here. Okay, so we're gonna film with some light up here and see if we can find our nest up in this space. There's one right there. There they are. Okay, so you see them going back there? They're coming in, they're looking at the light, but they're walking down and out of this space here.
So they're probably in the wall.
It's possible, yeah. So let's watch them for a minute and see what we see. You guys both see?
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea here is observation. Just do a little surveillance and just let them tell us where they are. It appears all the activity is going to the same hole, right down in that corner. Okay. That gives us some direction of where we're headed. What's at the top of the brick? What's it feel like?
Well, the brick ends here.
Okay.
There's a hollow opening into the brick at the top.
Okay. All right. Well, let's open that wood up then, and we're going to get some imagery of what's in behind there. Thanks.
So once you remove the exterior soffit material, which is typically metal or plastic, then inside is often wood, like you see here, and you have to cut your way through this and just do some exploratory work to figure out access points. So here we send the team up the ladder to give them experience in this type of exploratory work. So we're just going to show you the whole process of how we're exploring what we see as we see it. So as we got up into the ceiling here, there was more expandable foam we found up there. That's the white material you see down there and tucked into the wall. And a lot of spider activity, so there were a lot of webs.
I think I'm still just seeing the same thing that we were seeing before, them crawling back behind.
Okay, hand me that. So Elise is doing exploratory work, just trying to see what's visible. You see wasp paper?
Yeah, but it's just right behind this board, and I don't see like a nest. It just looks like crushed paper.
Okay, it could be a historical nest, or it could be something new. Well, I'll climb up and try to get a little imagery around that corner. You want to take a look, Katie? Yeah. Yeah, I see here where you do see some wasp paper here, where there was maybe a nest, unless that's just right in here. So what we're gonna do, let's try to clean out some of these webs. Get a look around that corner. Okay, so I see insulation, and behind that I see our nest, I believe. I see paper that leads to it. I'm going to film it for you guys so you can see. Yeah, the nest is right there. So it's an awkward space, but we might just have access to it. So, you see it?
Yeah. It's pretty hard to keep the back up there for attrition too.
Usually we hook the back to the ladder so it's a spin.
Okay, this one is smaller.
Yeah, for sure. My backpack's back. We can just get tools back here and just collect. So did you see it?
I did. Can you?
It's lined up there, and if so, I can give you the camera to guide your work. I often use two hands, one with a tool and one with the camera with the light, and that will kind of allow us to.
Is it up or is
It's
it
down. Yeah, here I'm gonna have put this in there like that. Go further back until the lens is around the corner.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go down
Because
with
it's
the
up
tool.
behind that insulation, most of it, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
That's just the very bottom of the nest, probably.
Yep, that's what I think. That's their entry point. They walk up in there behind the insulation. So unless we remove this board and pull the insulation, we won't be able to get to it. To me, it's not going to be worth trying to attack because we can't get tools back there, not even tongs, to remove debris. And all the vacuum's going to be able to do with that kind of space is collect what's coming out like attrition anyway. Okay. So we've set up an attrition collection, running the vac up the pole to the collection device, and now we just wait and watch and adjust as needed. But it seems like the collection point is pretty well set up. Now we just let them all come out, and as they explore that hole, when they come back to the nest, we'll get them. Now we wait. Good job, guys. Way to explore, identify where the nest was, and find a way to get the job done. You know, that's all you can do. So all this soffit will replace after we secure this wood with new screws, and I'll replace the cut piece, which I think we have here. Okay, so these are the pieces we have to work with for soffit, and we're checking for any nails left on the ground. I don't think there's any left, but you never know. It's worth a look. Any debris, let's go ahead and grab it. And we'll just make a pile of trash to deal with later. Hey, Elise and Katie did a great job. What we did today was identify, run down where they were inside the soffit, and we decided to pass on further demolition. Reason being, what's the reason?
It's not worth it.
Correct. It's not worth the demolition to the homeowner. So in cases like that, when we open up the soffit, we get to see where it is, which you guys did great with. We didn't break any soffit pieces. We didn't screw up any wood or construction. Everything will slip right back into place, and we can just do an attrition. So good job. I appreciate your help today.
So in these situations, when the demolition is just not worth it, as far as the homeowner having to do repairs to the structure afterward, we just decided to do a attrition collection from the outside entry point where the wasps are coming and going from. And this happens fairly often. There's times when it's worth it to cut out a nest, and there's times when it simply isn't worth it. And you have to be able to make that call right in the field as it happens. Whenever we do exploratory work or cutouts of any kind, we try to put things back the way we found them with no real damage to the structure, at least not that was anything significant beyond what was already there. The wood in this case was getting pretty degraded anyway, so we advised the client to go ahead and repair and replace as much of the wood up underneath this soffit as possible, and during that process to do the exclusion of insects and rodents, which is sealing every single hole, every nook and cranny throughout the underneath of the eaves. If you do all that at once, new wood, new sealant, all of it, then you'll get ahead of it for the next season. So once we had all the soffit put back in place, as you see here, we were ready to begin a long-term attrition on this property. This is where we come back every couple of days and continually remove any flying adult wasps. And they pupate out more and more each week, and each week we collect them all. And during that process, eventually, the nest starves out because we are interrupting the food delivery process. What you see in this collection container is all adult female foragers who typically collect food out in the wild and bring it back to the nest. If you collect all of them, there's no food coming into the larvae in the nest, so the larvae can't develop into pupation. And if the larvae fail to go into the pupal stage, then they will not survive. And that's the point of a long-term attrition. Here we take a look right into the collection bottle, and you can see there's a number of female foragers here. There's not a ton, it's not a huge collection, and that's never the point in an attrition collection. The attrition collection is specifically about taking out of the nest anything that's currently flying. And that may be a whole lot of them, or it may be just a few each time you visit.
So now we're going to freeze these German Yellowjackets that we collected today in dry ice. I'm just making some room in here for the container. Our germanica wasps have frozen long enough, so we're going to take them out of the ice and get them into their specimen bag so they can be frozen in the chest freezer until the end of the season when they get shipped out to the labs. I'll take a quick look at their species by looking at the marks on their backs. Okay. So that's it for this grouping. We'll go put them in the chest freezer. July 22nd, 2025. We're back in an attrition collection site. So it looks like this is going along just fine. The collection here.
So on this date, we were collecting from 2 different nests simultaneously with one vac rigged for 2 hoses. So there's a foundation nest and there's a soffit nest, and we just go back and forth checking pressure. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for riding along with us. As the season gets really busy now, we'll be uploading as often as we can. Stay tuned. There's plenty more to come in the 2025 wasp season. See you on the next one.